So the chapter we are going to discuss today, that is Union and its territories. Okay, so I think all of you might be knowing that this is in part one of the Constitution, and Article 1 to 4 come under this part. Okay, so we can say this is part one of the Constitution, and Articles 1 to 4 come under this part. Okay, Articles 1 to 4 come under this part. So this is there. Okay, so this is there. Okay, so part 1, Article 1 to 4. So now the point is that first of all, we should know that what is there in Article 1, Article 2, Article 3, Article 4. Okay, so first we are starting with Article 1 now. Okay, so as far as Article 1 is concerned, I am copying and pasting there the actual article which is mentioned there in the Constitution. Okay, so that we may discuss it in a proper way. So this is the article. Okay, so what is about this article? Name and territory of the Union. So Article 1 of the Constitution defines the name and the territory of the Union. It is mentioned there that India, that is Bharat, shall be a union of states. First of all, in our Constitution, two names of India have been mentioned, means the country has two official names. One is the India and the second official name is Bharat. So these have been provided in our Constitution. And Union of States, we will discuss it later on. The states and the territories thereof shall be as specified in the first schedule. Okay, so it is mentioned there that the names of the states and territories shall be mentioned in the first schedule of the Constitution. You know, our Constitution has 12 schedules in total. And in the beginning, at the time of the commencement of the Constitution, there were 8 schedules, and 4 schedules have been added later on. Okay. And the territories of India shall comprise the territories of states, the union territories specified in the first schedule, and such other territories as may be acquired. Okay, so this is the main thing about Article 1, which is mentioned there. Okay, so now let us, you can say, start our discussion. Okay, first and very important point which I will tell you, or which we will discuss here, that this part okay, Harshal, no problem, as you like. So now the point is that this part defines the important features of Indian polity. Two important features of Indian polity. Okay. So what are the two important features of Indian polity there? So one important feature is the Union of India, and the other important feature is the territory of India. So the two important points are defined here: Union of India, and the other one is the, we can say, territory of India. Okay, these are two things. Territory of India. These are two important points here which have been mentioned. Okay, territory of India. The two important points have been mentioned here. Okay, So now the point is that okay. Now the point is that there are two important features: Union of India and the Territory of India. Okay. So now, what do we mean by the Union of India? The important thing here is that this part or the Union of India includes the states of India, includes the states of India. Okay, that is the members of Indian Federation, the members of we can say the federal system of India, members of the federal system of India. So it contains this. And the second feature, which is the territory of India, right? So this term is comparatively broader because by this we mean or this contains the okay, this includes the entire territory over which the sovereignty of India is extended. So it includes that, right? Entire territory over which the sovereignty of India is extended. So that is mentioned there, okay, or extends, we can write here. So that means the territory of India is broader than the Union of India. Okay, the territory of India is a term which is broader than the Union of India. Which is broader than the Union of India. Okay, so broader means we can say this term includes or the territory of India includes the three. Okay, number one, what is there included in it? Number one, it is the states. Okay, various states. And number two, it includes the various UTs. And number three, it includes the territories that may be acquired. Okay, territories that may be acquired. So in this sense, we can say that because the term Union of India talks about the states only, but as far as the term this territory of India is concerned, right? So this is more broader, okay, and it includes the we can say the UTs and this the territories that may be acquired. Okay, so that means when we speak about the territory of India, let me tell you, okay, when we speak about the territory of India, we talk about this. Okay, one is this. Okay, one is this. Okay. And the second can be, I can say, is this. Okay, second is this. Okay, and the third can be, we can say, this part, right? Or let me take it in another way. Okay, let's suppose this is there. Okay, so the first part, so it contains this. Let's suppose this is one of the parts. So it contains this, and let's suppose the second is this, and third is this, right? So it may contain all this. This is one. Let me write here. This is two, and here is three. Okay. So one means the states. Okay, and two means the UTs. One means let us say it is states. Two means let us say it is UTs, and three means let us say it is the acquired territories. Okay, acquired territories. Okay. So this is what do we mean by the territory of India. This entire concept, this entire red circle is the territory of India. And if we speak about the states of India, then only number one, right, Union of India means only number one. Okay, so when we speak about the Union of India, by Union of India, we mean this only number one. Okay, so now what is the conclusion? So from here, we conclude that the territory of India is a term which is broader than the Union of India. Okay, so territory includes three things we can say. Okay, so this is the main thing here. Okay, so now the next point, let us discuss that at present, India has how many states? How many states, Asika?
28.
Yes, at present, India has 28 states. And how many union territories?
Guess it's 7. So,
7 union territories. Okay. Okay. Can you name those?
mm, Delhi,
Okay.
Pondicherry, Andaman, and I forgot, sir.
Yes.
Mm,
Okay. Leave it. Okay. So let me tell you that at present in India, there are 28 states, 7 union territories, and the you can say acquired territories. So 0 acquired territories are there. Okay, so let me write it here. Right. So states at present we are having 28. As far as the UTs are concerned, we are having 7 UTs. As far as the acquired territories are concerned, we are having 0 acquired territory. Okay, so now let me tell you, because the as far as the number of states is concerned, you might be knowing about the names of the states. Let me tell you about the capital now. Okay, so sorry, about the UTs now. As far as the UTs are concerned, right, one UT is, I can say, that is Chandigarh. Okay, and the second UT is, I can say, that as Delhi, and the third UT is the Daman and Diu, is it? And the fourth UT is Dadar and Nagar Haveli, is it? Okay, Nagar Haveli. And the fifth UT, that is, we can say, that is that Puducherry. Okay, and these are the 5 UTs. And the sixth UT, that is, we can say that Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Okay, and the next UT, that is Lakshadweep. Okay, so how many UTs are there? 7 UTs are there. Okay, and the next UT is Jammu and Kashmir, and the next is the Ladakh. Okay, so these are the union territories at present. Okay, so one is Chandigarh, second is Delhi, and Daman and Diu, Dadra and Nagar Haveli, and Puducherry, Andaman and Nicobar, Lakshadweep, J&K, and Ladakh, right? So I mean to say there that India is having, you can say, 28 states, okay? 28 states we have discussed there, okay? And 7 union territories I have told you, okay? So 7 union territories plus there is one, we can say, one NCT is there, okay, plus one NCT, and on the whole, you can say that at present we are having how many union territories? 8 union territories are there at present on the whole, we can say. Okay, how many union territories are there? 8 union territories are there at present, including Delhi, which is the NCT. Okay, and the next point is that because NCT is also a union territory, And the next is that is the acquired territory. How many acquired territories are there at present? That is 0. Okay, so this is the whole thing. But now your question should be that here we have mentioned how many names of the union territories. What is the number?
9, sir.
9. Okay, so why I am writing here 8? Do you know?
Someone should be removed as
Okay, okay, okay. Actually, what happened in the year 2020 on 26th of January, right? Daman and Diu and Dadra and Nagar Haveli have been merged into one, okay? And their name is now DNH and DD, right? The other Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu, that is the name of this union territory, right? So what happened? This is important to note here, right? What happened? The two union territories, we can say that Dadar and Nagar Haveli, okay, Dadra and Nagar Haveli and and Daman and Diu, okay, were merged into one on 26th of January, okay, 2020. On 26th of January 2020. Okay, so what by which act? The name of the act I am telling you here, right? So by the act, right? So we need to mention the name of the act also, by the act, right? So which act is that? Right? Dadar and Nagar Haveli, the act named, let me write here, act named Dadar and Nagar Haveli, okay, and Daman and Diu, okay, Daman and Diu, merger of UTs, merger of UTs Act 2019, okay, merger of UTs Act 2019. So this is the important point here, which you should keep in mind. Okay, so now the next important point which is required to be discussed here is that this act, right? So what changes have been introduced by this act into the constitution, right? What changes have been introduced by this act into the constitution, introduced by this act into the constitution. Okay, so what changes have been introduced by this act into the constitution? What are those changes which have been introduced into the constitution by this act? Okay, so the changes are the first important changes that one is you can say change in the first schedule. Okay, the first schedule of the constitution has been changed. Why? Because their names of the UTs and states are mentioned. So that is why in place of two names, Daman and Diu and Dadra and Nagar Haveli separately, now there is only one name, that is the Dadar Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu Union Territory. Okay, so that is why the first schedule was amended by this act. Okay, and the second thing is that this act, you can say amended article 240 clause 1 also, amended article 240 clause 1 also. Okay, so as far as this article 240 clause 1 is concerned, what is there in article 240 and clause 1, right? So these are the important things which we will study, which are not given in your books, right? So what is that? It mentions that the president, okay, the president may make, okay, may make regulations for the peace, progress, for the peace, progress, and good governance peace, progress, and good governance of the UTs of, okay, of the UTs of which UTs they are talking about, or which UTs about they talk about. Okay, so now let me tell you that which UTs they talk about. Okay, the UTs they talk about are one is okay, the one Union Territory, that is Andaman and Nicobar Islands. I am writing here ANN Islands. Okay. Number two is Lakshadweep. We can write here. And number three is Dadar and Nagar Haveli. Okay. Dadar and Nagar Haveli. And number four is Daman and Diu. And number five is Puducherry. Okay, Puducherry. So these are the names mentioned there for these UTs, right? So what change have been brought in this Article 240? The important changes that okay, the names of the means two entries have been replaced by one entry. Okay, the two entries have been replaced by one entry. Okay, have been replaced by one entry. Okay, in place of two entries, the one entry has been mentioned now. That is the Dadar Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu Union Territory. Okay, so now the next question which can be there, that is that what is the name of the capital of new merged Union Territory? Okay, what is the name of the capital of this new merged Union Territory? Okay, the capital of this new merged Union Territory is Daman. So Daman is the name of the capital of this merged Union Territory now. Okay, so Asika, is it clear? Is the point clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so basically this is very important. Okay, so now what need to be discussed here? Okay, that we are having, as I have told you, we are having 8 UTs, right? Including Delhi. Okay, we are having 8 UTs including Delhi. Out of these 8 UTs, now I am telling you that 2 UTs were established in 2019. Okay, 2 UTs were established in 2019, were set up or established in 2019. So this is the one point here. Okay, and the next point is that two UTs, right? Two UTs have their legislature. Two UTs have their legislature. So this is the next important point. Have their legislature, and the next thing is that right. So 6 UTs, right? 6 UTs, that is Chandigarh, that Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh 3, Andaman and Nicobar 4, Lakshadweep 5, Dadar, Nagar Haveli, and Daman and Diu 6, right? So the 6 UTs are centrally administered UTs. 6 UTs are centrally administered. Okay, so this is the point here. 6 UTs are centrally administered UTs. Okay, so now I am telling you about the 2 union territories which have their legislature. Okay, so let us discuss about this, about the 2 union territories which have their legislature. So what is important regarding this? The 2 union territories are, one is the Puducherry and second is Delhi. Okay, the 2 union territories with their legislature are Puducherry and the second union territory, that is known as Delhi. Okay, so as far as Puducherry is concerned, okay, the legislature was established in 1962. Okay, legislature was Puducherry, for Puducherry was established in, okay, legislature of Puducherry. was established in 1962, okay, by the Pondicherry Administration Act, right? By the Pondicherry Administration Act. Pondicherry Administration Act. So this act was enacted in the year 1962. Administration Act of 1962. Okay, this is there, right, under Article 239A. Okay, Article 239A empowers the Parliament to do this. Okay, so this is the point here. And the next important thing is that as far as Delhi is concerned, the legislature and ministry for Delhi was established. Okay, the legislature and ministry for Delhi was established. Legislature and ministry for Delhi was established by the 69th, okay, by the 69th Constitution Amendment Act. Okay, Amendment Act of 1991, which came into force in 1992. Okay, which came into force in 1992. Okay, so now the important point is that this 69th Amendment Act, which we are speaking about here. Okay, so this act added two articles to the Constitution, right? So this act added two articles to the Constitution. Okay, added two articles. Okay, which two articles were added by this act? Let me tell you here. Okay, so one article is, we can say, that is Article 239AA, and the second is Article 239AB. Okay, one is Article 239AA was added, and the second which was added was Article 239AB. This is the second which was added there. Article 239AB. Okay, so these are the two articles which were added there. Okay, so now the next important point is that what is there in these two articles, right? So the two articles, right, we were discussing there on the previous page. Okay, so what is there in those two articles? Two articles means one article is Article 239AA and the other is Article 239AB. These two articles were added to the Constitution by the 69th Amendment Act, right? So one is Article 239AA and the other is Article 239AB. Okay, so these are the two important articles. What is there in Article 239AA, right? So one important point is that this article names, okay, names, you can say this Union Territory of Delhi as NCT, National Capital Territory. Okay, so one is this. So this act names Union Territory of Delhi as a NCT. This is the one point. Okay, and the second important point here is that it provides for a legislative assembly for Delhi. Provides for a legislative assembly. LA for legislative assembly for Delhi. Okay, provides for a legislative assembly for Delhi. And the third is it provides for a Council of Ministers. COM means Council of Ministers for Delhi. So these are the important things which are there in Article 239 AA. Now, what is there in Article 239 AB, right? So Article 239 AB, you can say empowers the president, we can say, to suspend by order, right? So any provision of Article 239 AA, right? 239 AA. So the President of India has been given power to suspend any provision of Article 239 AA, right? According to Article 239 AB, this is mentioned there. Okay. So I hope the point is clear to you. Asika, is it clear? Is it clear too?
Clear, sir.
Okay. So now the next important thing is there, right? So what do we mean by the territories that may be acquired, right? It is mentioned there in the previous slides that territories that may be acquired. Okay. So what is the meaning of that territories that may be acquired? Okay. So what is its meaning? Territory that may be acquired. By the acquired territories, we mean the two types of territories. Number one, the territories that have been purchased by the country, or the territories that have been taken on lease, right? The territories that have been taken on a lease, okay? Purchased or taken on lease, okay? And the second thing is that the territories, right, that have been ceded to India, means cession of the territory, or the territory which have been acquired by conquest. Okay, so there are two ways. One is the territories can be acquired by the cession, means uh, yeah, some other country may give up the territory in favor of India. And the second is by conquest. Conquest means by fighting, by war, winning the war. Okay. So these are the two ways, okay, uh, for the acquisition of the territory, acquisition of any territory, okay. So now the important thing, which is here that, right, so these territories, okay, will be treated as territories of India because it has been mentioned earlier, right? So so such territories will be treated as a territories of India. Okay, such territories will be treated as a territories of India. This is the one point. Okay, territories of India, right? And will be administered by the and will be administered by the government of India, subject to legislation by parliament. Okay, government of India subject to legislation by parliament. By parliament. Okay, legislation by parliament. So this is the next point. Okay, so it means these territories, right, shall be subject to so, and these shall be administered by the government, right? These territories shall be administered by the government of India, subject to the legislation by the parliament. Okay, so this thing which is mentioned here shall be administered by the government of India, subject to the legislation by the parliament, right? So under Article 200, we can say this 46 clause 4, the Parliament of India can do so. Okay. So under Article 246 clause 4, the Parliament of India can do so. Article 246 clause 4, the Parliament has been authorized to do so, can do so. So this is the important thing here. Okay. So now the point is that, right, so far, we have discussed the thing that what do we mean by the Union of India and what do we mean by the territory of India, right? So Union of India is clear to you. It means the states of India only, and the territory of India means the states of India, the union territories and the acquired territories, right? So all these combined are known as the territory of India. So these points have been discussed far, right? And in article first, clause 1, it is said that India, that is Bharat, is a union of states. So in article 1 clause 2, it is said that the states and the territories thereof shall be specified in the first schedule. Okay, and in this you can say article 1. Okay, clause 3, it is mentioned the territory of India shall include the following. Okay, following states, UTs and the acquired territories. This is mentioned there. Okay, so now the next point is that the territories that have been acquired so far. Okay, is there any territory that has been acquired by India so far? Yes, Asika, territories acquired so far. Which are the territories that have been acquired so far? You know?
No, sir.
Okay. So beta, the territories which have been acquired so far are, right, are the first of all, we will say that is the Pondicherry. Okay, so Pondicherry, right? So at the time of independence of India, Pondicherry, actual Indian territory, right, that was under the occupation of the French. Okay, so there are 4 districts, which is Pondicherry, Yanam, and Karaikal and Mahe. You know?
No, sir. I'm hearing this for the first time.
Okay, okay, okay. No, you must have heard about the places, na?
No, sir.
Okay, okay,
I know
okay.
Pondicherry. That I know.
Okay, okay, okay. So basically, there are 4 districts of Pondicherry. Okay, so 2 districts are on the western coast, right, towards Kerala, we can say. Okay, and 2 are on the eastern coast, right? So one is the Pondicherry, okay, and one is Yanam, and one is Mahe, and one is Karaikal. Okay, so these are the 4 districts which were under the French occupation at the time of independence of country, right? Independence of India. Okay, so now what happened in 1954? French left India and the territory was ceded to India, right? So in 1954, what happened? In 1954, the French left and the territory was and the territory was ceded to India, right, under a treaty, right, under a treaty of, right, we can say under a treaty of, we can say cession, right, treaty of cession. So that is known as under a treaty of cession, okay, in 1954. And what happened from 1954, okay, till the year 1962, okay, this territory was administered as an acquired territory by India. Okay, this territory from 1954 till 19, you can say 62, this territory was administered as an acquired territory, right? So let me write here. So one milestone is this 1954 and the second milestone is this 1962. Okay, so what happened between this period? this from 19, this you can say from 1947 till 1954, right? So this was under the French occupation. Okay, this was under the French occupation. In 1954, the French left. Okay, the French left, and then from 1954 till 1962, okay, it was administered as an acquired territory of India. Okay, it was administered as an acquired territory of India. So this is important point here, acquired territory of India. Okay, and from 1962 onwards, right? So it is the you can say it is the Union territory of India. Okay, so from 1962 onwards, it is the Union territory of India, we can say. It is treated as the UT of India, UT. Okay, so let me write the years here. One is the 1954, and another year is here, which is the 1962. Okay, sorry, 1962. That is the another year. Okay, so these are the 2 years which are required to be noted. Okay, which are important. You must keep these in mind. Okay, so now the question arises that why this gap? Because we acquired the territory in 1954, and till 1962, the government of India did not do anything, right? Either to make the Pondicherry a union territory, or to make the Pondicherry a full-fledged state, or to merge it some other state like Tamil Nadu, etc. The government of India did not do anything, right? So why this gap from 1954 till 1962? The reason was that the we can say treaty of cession, which was entered into between the French and India, right? So that was yet to be ratified by the Parliament of for the France. Okay, and the Parliament of France took this much time for the ratification of that treaty of cession of Pondicherry to India. Okay, so we can say that is why, right, until that was ratified by the French Parliament, that agreement or treaty was ratified by the French Parliament. Till then, it was not, you can say, legally possible for us to include the Pondicherry into either the Indian Union, or to, you can say, give it status of the union territory. So we can say therefore, right? So it was given the status of the acquired territory, right? And it was, you can say, kept as thus till 1962. And in 1962, the act was passed, which we have already discussed, right? So Pondicherry Administration Act 1962, and that act established a separate legislative assembly for the Pondicherry, and gave the Pondicherry a status of the union territory with its legislature. Okay, so this is the important point which needs to be remembered here. I think it's okay. The point is quite clear to you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now next, there is a one more territory, but the case of that territory is quite interesting. That territory is a Sikkim. Okay, the case of Sikkim is also important to be discussed here. Okay, so Sikkim case was entirely different, as I told you. So what was the difference there? I am telling you. Actually, this is the timeline. Okay, this is the timeline which I am mentioning here. Okay, so one is the independence of India, when right, we got the independence in 1947, we know it. Okay, and then from independence of India till the year 1974. This is the point here. And then from 1974 till 1975, we can say this is another point here. Okay, from this till this is another point here. Okay, so now what is this? Okay, so let me write here the years also. 1947, independence of India, and then next to that there is a 19 you can say 74, and the next there is a, that is the 1975, 1975. Okay, so these are the three dates. Okay, so actually what was the scene there, right? So at the time of independence of India, Sikkim was an Indian state under the, you can say, Chogyal, right? Before independence of India, Sikkim was an Indian state, right? You can say uh, Indian state under the Chogyal, right? Subject to the British paramountcy. Okay, so the point is that before India's independence, before India's independence, right? So Sikkim was an Indian territory. Okay, Sikkim was an Indian territory. Okay, ruled by Chogyal. Chogyal was monarch there, right? Chogyal monarch, right? Chogyal monarch. Okay, so subject to the British paramountcy. Okay, means under the subordinate to the Britain. Okay, to the British paramountcy. We will discuss this when we will go in history, right? British paramountcy. So this is the point here. Okay, so after the independence of India, okay, you can say the India was set free, and the kings were, or the princes were having the option, right, to either revert to the previous status or go with India or go with Pakistan, right? So now what was there? There was a sentiment in Sikkim, right, among the people of Sikkim, that the state should be merged into Indian Union, right? So the people, a section of people, let me write here, a section of Sikkimese, right, wanted to be united with India. Okay, wanted to be united with India. Okay, but due to certain reasons, because of the Chogyal monarchy, right, Chogyal's monarchy there, and because of the strategic location of the state, so that is why it could not become possible. You can say that the Sikkim should be merged full-fledgedly into Indian Union. So the full-fledged merger was not possible. So, and therefore, what happened? Sikkim became a protectorate state of India. Okay, so what happened? Sikkim became a protectorate state of India. Protectorate of India, right? So according to the protectorate, what was there? So the three subjects of Sikkim, one is the defense, second is the external affairs, and third you can say that was the, okay, defense, external affairs, and third was the that is communication. Okay, so these three subjects were uh, you can say taken care of by India: defense, external affairs, okay, and then there is the communication. Okay, so these three subjects were taken care of by India, right? And the rest of the subjects were, was the responsibility of the this Chogyal. Okay, so that was there, right? So it means from 1947 till 1974, Sikkim remained a protectorate, protectorate of India, right? As I have told you, here. Okay. Then what happened in 1974, right? In 1974, what happened? So there was a political change in Sikkim. In 1974, there was a political change in Sikkim, a political change in Sikkim, right? So the rule of Chogyal was ended. Chogyal was ended, and it was replaced by an assembly of Sikkim. It was replaced by an assembly of Sikkim, means Sikkim assembly, right? That was the representative government. Okay, so this was the representative assembly. Okay, it was representative, we can say. Okay, and Chogyal was made the this nominal head, or we can say the constitutional head of the state, right? So after that, what happened? The You can say the Assembly of Sikkim sought a political and economic association or collaboration with India. So what happened? The assembly, okay, what happened? The Assembly of Sikkim sought the Assembly of Sikkim sought political and economic collaboration with India. Okay, they sought political and economic collaboration with India, and therefore, in 1974, Sikkim was made an associate state of India. Okay, Sikkim was made an associate state of India, associate state of India, right? Associate state. So the point here is that let me tell you one more thing, that the Assembly of Sikkim sought political and economic collaboration with India, and in this respect, the Sikkimese Assembly, okay, the Sikkimese Assembly passed a resolution for the said collaboration or said association with India, for the said collaboration with India, right? And to give effect to this resolution of the Sikkim Assembly, right? To give effect to this resolution of the Sikkim Assembly, the Parliament of India, right? To give effect to this, the Parliament of India enacted the, you can say, 35th, right? Constitution Amendment Act. 35th Constitution Amendment Act was enacted by the Parliament in 1974, right? And by the, you can say, provision of that act, right? So by the provision of that act, we can say this, you can say the Sikkim was made an associate state into of India, right? So that is the point here, associate state, right? And now, then, as far as the associate state was concerned, there one more important thing is there. So here, let me tell you that what we have discussed so far, right? So Sikkim became an associate state. Okay, associate state. But yes, it is important to note here that Sikkim was by no means a territory of India, right? So Sikkim was by no means a territory of India. Okay, territory of India. It was independent actually. Okay, so this is important here, right? So now what was there? Now after this, you can say progress. So what happened, right? So India became responsible for what? Number one, defense of Sikkim. Number two, external affairs of Sikkim. Number three, communication. Okay, and number four, the social welfare of the Sikkim or of the Sikkim's people. Okay, Sikkimese people, right? Sikkimese, we can say social welfare of there also. So India became responsible for all this, right? And apart from that, two members of the Sikkim Assembly were to represent the Sikkim in the Parliament of India, right? It means one member in Rajya Sabha and one member in Lok Sabha. The two members, are the two representatives of Sikkim, right? You can say were made members of the Parliament of India. Okay, so though they were made members of the Parliament of India, they were enjoying all the privileges and the powers which are given to the normal members of Parliament in our country, but they were not allowed to take part in the election of the president or vice president, right? So the electoral college which is formed for the this election of the president or for election of the vice president, so they were not allowed to be member of those electoral colleges, right? So that was the main thing there, right? And now apart from that, right, so these were the important points, right? Now the Sikkimese were allowed to join. One more thing that after this change, okay, the Sikkimese were allowed to join what? Number one, right? So we can say that all India services were allowed to join all India services, and number two, they were allowed to join the political institutions in India. Okay, political institutions in India. Okay, so these are the two important points that the people of Sikkim were allowed to join this at that time. Okay, so now we have we were just talking that to give effect to the resolution passed by the passed by the Assembly of the Sikkim, right? So the government of India introduced the Constitution 35th Amendment Act of 1974. Okay, so that is the point which we are going to discuss now. Okay, so now what changes, right, did it brought to the Constitution of India with this, right? So what changes were brought to the Constitution of India? What changes were brought by it? Right, in the Constitution. So what changes were brought by it? As far as the changes are concerned, okay, there were two additions which were made, right? So two additions were made to the Constitution. Two additions were made. What were the two additions? The one addition was that, okay, article, you can say 2A was added to the Constitution. Article 2A was inserted into the Constitution, we can say, was inserted. Okay, and second point is that Schedule 10 was added to the Constitution at that time, right? Though both these things remain for a short while, right? By the 36th Amendment in 1975, both these things, Article 2A and Schedule 10, both these were omitted. right, were taken away, were withdrawn, we can say, were deleted from the constitution, you can say. Okay, so this is the point here. Two additions were made, Article 2A and Schedule 10 of the Constitution, right? So as far as Article 2A was concerned, right? So Article 2A was to provide for the associate state, and Schedule 10, in Schedule 10, the subjects were mentioned, which subjects of Sikkim will be taken care of by India, and all the residuary powers were vested in the Assembly of Sikkim. Right, so Assembly of Sikkim was responsible for all the residuary matters. The matters mentioned in Schedule 10, India was responsible for those matters only. Okay, so that is the point here. So these were the changes which were incorporated into the Constitution. Okay, so now the next point. Is it clear up to this point?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now the next point. Why was Article 2A added to the Constitution? What was the need of okay, addition of Article 2A? Why was Article 2A added? Okay, Article 2A. Why was this added to the Constitution? Okay, because the important point here to be mentioned is that Article 2 of the Constitution empowers the Parliament of India, we can say, to admit a new state into the Indian Union. Okay, so let us see here. Okay, one point is that Article 2 empowers the Parliament of India to right, to, you can say, admit any new state into the Indian Union. To admit any new state into the Indian Union. Okay, so this is the important point here, into the Indian Union. All right. So, but the Constitution of India provides for only three types of units. The next point is that, but the Constitution of India provides for only three types of units. Only three types of units. So what are they? They are the states, and the second is the UT, and the third is the acquired territory. Okay, state, UT, and acquired territory. Acquired territory. So these are the three types of units which were allowed by the Constitution. So there was no scope for the associate state, right, to be accommodated into India. Okay, there was no scope to accommodate an associate state, into India, right, into India. So that is why, right, to facilitate the addition of Sikkim, okay, to facilitate the entry of Sikkim as an associate state, right, as an associate state, the Constitution was amended. the constitution was amended and Article 2A was inserted. And Article 2A was inserted. So this is the point here. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the next thing is that after that, Sikkim became a constituent part or constituent unit of India. Okay. Then Sikkim became a constituent unit of India. Okay. So now what happened? When in 1974, Sikkim became associate state of India. Then after that, the Chogyal, who was the constitutional head of Sikkim, right, he resented on the move and he called for the international intervention into the issue, right? So after that, what happened? The assembly of the Sikkim reacted because the popular sentiment there was to go with India, to merge Sikkim into India. So therefore, when Chogyal, you can say, showed his resentment and he called for international intervention, then immediately the assembly of Sikkim reacted, right? And they passed a resolution. According to that resolution, what was there? There were two important things. Number one, the institution of Chogyal as constitutional head was, you can say, scrapped, right? Number one is that. And number two, right, it was resolved, right, to merge Sikkim into Indian Union. Okay, so now what happened, right? So after 1974, okay, after the move of 1974, okay, Chogyal presented and called for international intervention. Called for international intervention. So this is an important point here. Okay, called for international intervention, right? So reacting to the this Chogyal's move, okay, reacting to the Chogyal's or reacting on the reacting on the Chogyal's move, what happened? The assembly of Sikkim, okay, passed a resolution, right, which you can say, number one, scrapped or demolished the institution of Chogyal as constitutional head. As nominal head of the state. So one point is this. Okay, and number two, right, which provided for the merger of Sikkim into India. Okay, so to give effect, this resolution of the Sikkim Assembly, right, to give effect to this resolution of the Sikkim Assembly, what happened? The Parliament of India, okay, to give effect to this resolution, the Parliament of India, right, enacted the Constitution 36th Amendment Act 1974, right? And under this act, right, Sikkim became the 22nd state of Indian Union, right? And so Sikkim became the 22nd state of Indian Union. Okay, 22nd state of Indian Union. This is very much important point here. Okay, Sikkim became the 22nd state of Indian Union. Okay, so now the next point is that what changes into the constitution were made by this amendment act? Okay, what changes into the constitution were made by the constitution? Okay, constitution 30, you can say sixth amendment act of 1975. What changes were made? Okay, so as far as the changes are concerned, the following changes were made. Okay, actually through the amendment of the constitution, what we do, okay, we do the omission, we do addition, okay, and we do the alteration. These are the 3 points now. What changes are done? Number one, we do omission, okay, and number two, omission we can say, and number two, what we do, we added something, okay, and number three, addition we can say. Let me write addition here, okay, and we do the addition here, insertion of something new we can say. And the third change is that is the alteration. Alteration means change of the existing thing without any addition or without any deduction. Okay, so that is the point here. So by this amendment, all the three things were done. As far as the omission is concerned, what was omitted, right? As far as the omission is concerned, what was omitted, right? So we can say two things were omitted. One is a section 2A, sorry, article 2A was omitted, right? And second is a schedule 10 was omitted. So these two were omitted, we can say, okay? And then the next thing, addition. What addition were made? First of all, let me go on the alteration. What alteration was made? One alteration is the first schedule, right? Because the name of Sikkim was to be added there. And the second thing was a fourth schedule for the Rajya Sabha seats. Okay, so that was also changed. And the third thing was Article 80 to 81, right? Those were altered. Why altered? Because in Article 80 and 81 speaks about the, you can say, seats of the states in the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. It speaks about that, right? So that is why when Sikkim became a full-fledged state, Sikkim was to be given the representation in Rajya Sabha as well as in Lok Sabha. That is why there was the change in the number of seats in the Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, and therefore this alteration was done by this amendment, we can say. Okay, so this is the important point here, right? As far as the new insertion is concerned, it added Article 371F into the Constitution, right? What was done? Article 371F was added to the Constitution, was inserted to the Constitution, right? So what was its purpose? To provide uh, some special provisions for the administration of the Sikkim. Okay, to provide for some special provisions related to the administration of Sikkim. To provide for some special provisions okay, related to the of Sikkim. So this is the point here. Okay. So this is about this article 371 F, and the point was that what changes were made by this, you can say, Amendment Act into the Constitution. So that is the point here. Okay. So I hope this is clear to you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So today I am concluding my lecture here. Okay. So tomorrow we will start the next part of this lecture. Okay. So in today's lecture, which is on the topic of union and its territory, we have discussed Article 1, Article 2 also. Okay. And in this we have discussed about the meaning of the Union of India, about the meaning of the territory of India also. So this is the one thing which we have discussed. Okay, what is the territory, what is the union, what things are included in that, and what are the acquired territories, which territories were acquired by India since independence. Okay, so that is the point which we discussed here. So then we have discussed of the case of Puducherry. We have discussed the case of merger of the two union territories of the other Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu, and we have discussed the case of the this, you can say that Sikkim also we have discussed the case. Okay, so all these things we have discussed about the 35th amendment, we have discussed about 36th amendment also. Okay, so all these things have been discussed. So I hope you must have enjoyed the lecture today. So now I'm concluding the lecture. Okay, so see you tomorrow. Okay.
Sir, can you show me the first slide, sir?
Pardon?
First slide.
First slide, yes, why not? This is the first slide.
Done, sir. Thank you.
Done? Okay. Can I take leave?
Yes, sir. And advance happy New Year, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Take care. Happy New Year to you also.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.